Why, hello, guys. How are you doing? How you doing? What's up, Wing Chun? Nice of you to join. What's up, Hope? Glad you're here. Hey, Deadly Annihilation. That's ominous name. Casey. What's up, Casey? Hey, Katie. Glad you can make it. What's up, Lush? Glad you can make it. Hey, Peepzilla. Good evening. Dan. What's up, Dan? My man. Nikki. What's up, Nikki? Glad you could join. All right. What's up, Lady Koi? Hey guys, guess what I did this weekend? Guess what I did? I had a dance performance. Okay, I was performing on a stage. Well, it wasn't a stage. It was like a studio. What's up, Mr. Have a Nice Day? Yeah, I was taking a salsa class, and then at the end, you're supposed to do a performance. So it was like a free performance. Yeah, it had limited seats, but like people could come in for free. Yeah, so it was a salsa class, but then what happened was the teacher was very nice, and one day the teacher was like, oh yeah, we're doing a performance at the end of the class. But then the teacher also pulled me aside, and she was like, you know, she has another class, a ballroom dancing class, and they also do a waltz performance. They're supposed to do that, but they're missing a guy. They need another guy to do it, and she asked me to do it. And the teacher is really nice. Okay, so I was like, you know what? Why not? I'll just do that too, even though I don't know the waltz. So I agreed to that. So I did 2 performances, and there were 2 shows, so I did 4 in total. You love waltzes so much? I don't know if the waltz is for me, guys. I don't know if the waltz is for me. It's too slow. And you're supposed to be too graceful, and I don't know how to do that. Yeah. My partner for the waltz performance, she kept telling me to be more graceful. Be more graceful, Lynn. Be more graceful. And I don't know how to do it. I'm like, how? How do I do it? But anyways, it turned out fine. It turned out well. Both performances. So I'm really happy. Did I wear one of those sexy salsa dresses? No, the girls were wearing the sexy salsa dresses, not me. For salsa, I was wearing like a black pants and black shirt, like a black V-neck shirt. Yeah, and then for the waltz, I was wearing black pants and white button-up, long sleeve shirt, and a tie. They made me wear a tie. Yeah. I look pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. So since they were both two different outfits, I had to change after every performance. Yeah. I was a professional, guys. I was super professional. Think of a swan when you dance. I was trying to be graceful. Okay. It's not easy. Not a graceful dude. How many words do we have to catch you on to get you to wear a salsa dress on your next live? Oh, that's not enough words, okay? That's a payment, okay? I need some money involved for me to wear a salsa dress. No one filmed it. No, it was filmed. All right, if you guys remind me next week, I'll show you some videos, okay? If you remind me. There's a video of the whole performance. And some like behind the scenes too. You can't dance, the eyes in the room are too nerve-wracking. It's actually not nerve-wracking. So if you're on stage, if you're dancing, there are lights, right? There are a lot of lights, so you can barely see the audience. So it doesn't really matter. I wasn't nervous anyways. Usually not. But yeah, even if you are, there are lights and you can barely see the audience, and you don't have to look at the audience. You just look straight forward. Yeah, one of the girls who was in the performance, she was saying the same thing. She was super nervous before it, but yeah. But I was like, hey, just loosen up, and then just practice. And then after she did like the first performance, she was like, it's fine. It's not even that nerve-wracking. It was fun, actually. Everyone put in $1 and I'll do a Christmas performance. No, not enough. How many people were there? So in the performance, the dancers, there were like, let's see, like 12 people. So like 6 couples, 12 to 14. Yeah, for each. How many people were in the audience? So it was like a small free show, right? And how many people? I'm gonna say there were probably, I'm gonna say 100 people in the audience for both. Yeah, there were 2 shows. Yeah, for both. It went really well. Yeah. If you remind me next week, I'll show you some videos. All right. That's a little too much for you. Yeah, maybe. Oh, so Casey, thank you so much. I appreciate it. $5. $5, not enough to get me in a salsa dress, okay? I need a little bit more than that. Yeah, the good thing about this performance is it wasn't the performance itself wasn't that hard to do. Because it was a free show, so the moves that we did were pretty basic. Okay. Now it's pretty basic, so then nothing too hard. I remember I did a show before, and it was like because I took the class before, and it was like what was it? A volunteer. So you if you wanted to do a performance, you can volunteer to do it. Yeah, and I volunteered. And for that performance, it was a lot harder, right? The moves were a lot harder. I had to practice a lot. We had to practice every week. And then practice on the weekends. And then, yeah. And even then it was hard. And there were a lot of some difficult moves. One of the moves was really hard. One of the moves I had to kind of drop my partner and hold her in midair. Yeah. We practiced that a lot, okay? And during rehearsal, I almost dropped her like twice. Okay? I never dropped her to the ground. Like, she didn't die. She still lived. Okay? But I would like catch her. I was like, oh no, God. Yeah, I wonder what would happen if I actually dropped her. How mad would she be? Yeah, so like during the performance, I was nervous about that part the entire time. So the entire performance, like I was leading up to the part where I did that move, I was like, hey, don't drop her. 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 And then when it happened, and I didn't drop her, okay? It went perfectly. So I was like, smooth sailing from now on. S70 driver, another $5. Thank you so much. Peepzilla. Okay, stop with the donations, okay? You never heard of Semi-Devils, just Demi-Gods, actually. All right. Not wearing a salsa dress, okay? You're gonna need we're talking thousands, okay? We're not talking $5. But to show you the videos, it's free next week if you remind me. I ran out of Japanese snacks, so today all I'm doing is this. Everyone knows this, right? Ferrero Rocher. Oh, so good. That's $70. $10. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Why is your profile pic a Volvo thing? Do you like Volvos? Is it Ferrero Rocher or Ferrero Rocher? I never know. I never know how to say it. But it's so good. Oh, I love this. Mm. 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 The first way? So it's Ferrero Rocher? Oh, okay. Sounds good. Rated out of 10? Oh, Ferrero Rocher. It's an absolute 10 out of 10. It's so good. So good. All right. We'll do an Africa quiz really quick, and then we can get started, okay? One second. All right, remember last time we had, what was it, 90%? All right. Shooting for the moon today, guys. Shooting for the moon. Today, we're gonna get 91%. Let's do this. I'm doing pretty well on this, okay? Pretty well. Sierra Leone should be here. Western Sahara. Now I was really nervous. I can't miss. I think I can't miss 3. I think missing 3 is 90%. So you gotta be super careful. Sudan, South Africa, Libya, Burkina Faso. I think it's here. Nigeria should be here. Egypt, Zimbabwe. I think this is Mozambique. Botswana? Zimbabwe is here. Ah! Zimbabwe. Okay, that's 1. Zambia. Where's Zambia? No, this is like Gabon or something. Oh, is this Gabon? Zambia should be here then, somewhere. Zambia. Okay. Tanzania. Oof. Namibia. Where's Tanzania? This is Mozambique, right? Tanzania? Okay. Tunisia is here. Niger. Mauritius. This is Mauritania, right? So Mauritius is here. Angola. Chad. Chad looks like a Chad. Lesotho, Mali, Togo is this one. Equatorial Guinea. Must be here. Ivory Coast here. Cameroon. Where's Cameroon? Burundi. Burundi would be. Oof. Is Rwanda, Uganda, Burundi, Madagascar? Oh my god, I'm so nervous. I can't miss one more. Ethiopia, Rwanda, Central African Republic, Gabon. Oh! Alright, don't go below last time. Don't go below. Eritrea. Okay, 91% is the lowest we're gonna get, okay? Uganda. Morocco. Seychelles here. Kenya here. Liberia. Oof. Senegal should be here. Guinea. Comoros. I think it's here, right? Mozambique. Djibouti. Eswatini should be here. Ghana. Gambia. Sao Tome. Guinea-Bissau. Mauritania. Cape Verde. Democratic Republic. Botswana. Nigeria. Namibia. Oof. Here. Benin. Republic. Oh! 95! 95! We missed 3. We missed 3. Oh my god. Okay. Mauritania looks like stairs. Mauritania looks like stairs. Okay. Why did I miss this? Wait, what is this? Gabon. Benin. Gabon. Alright. 95. 95. Next time, we're gonna get 100. Alright, 100. We'll do it. We'll do it. I know it. Just gotta learn Botswana, Zimbabwe, Tanzania. These are so hard. Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Tanzania. I think I learned Mozambique. So it's like these ones. These ones. They're so hard. 95%. It's a failure, okay? To an Asian, that's a failure. Alright. Anyways. Alright. So what happened last week? So last week, last chapter. Remember some Shaolin and Murong people, these two groups, they are injured and they go to the home of the divine physician, the divine physician Shui. And instead of finding him, they find a trap. All right. So turns out he faked his funeral and he hid a poison trap in his coffin. All right. To poison anyone that comes to the funeral, I guess. But they don't fall for the trap. They're trying to figure out what's going on. When a whole bunch of other people arrive, and they turn out to be the Marshall brothers and sister of the divine physician. And they get into a fight because of an obvious misunderstanding. They get into a fight, and then they stop. Afterwards, this guy named Ding Chunxiu announces that he's coming. Remember, he's the old freak of Xingqiu, the master of the Xingqiu sect. He's a guy with a lot of poison techniques. He announces that he's coming, and all the Marshall brothers and sister of the divine physician, they're terrified, and they run away. They hide inside the house. Okay, they close the door, hide inside the house, and they trigger some mechanism to open this entrance to a cave. All right, because they want to escape, I guess. But then when they opened the cave, inside the cave, someone says, someone shouts out, "Come in and kill me," and that's where we stopped. Okay, that's basically it. Most of the last chapter was a huge fight. That Ferrero Rocher really helped me out. True, I should eat one before I do the quiz. Wait, S70, you're from Mozambique? Hello. From the US. Do a booklet on Japanese history. How do you do that? Okay, left off here. Chapter 30, Part 2. Right, so remember, so they hear from underground, he's like, "Oh, freak of Shinshu, come and kill me." So what happened? The bookworm, carpenter, opera actor, and the rest all cheered in unison. "Fifth brother is alive!" the zither elder said loudly. "Fifth brother, we all arrive!" The voice from underground was silent for a moment, then it shouted, "It's really elder brother?" The tone was joyous. There was a laughing sound, and someone came out of the hole. It is the enemy of the king of hell, the divine physician Shui. So this guy was hiding in the cave. Unexpectedly, other than the zither elder and the rest of his sworn brothers, there was also quite a few strangers. He could not help but stare blankly. He said to Xuan, "Great master, you came out of your temple. These few people are your friends?" Xuan hesitated. This is one of the Shaolin monks. And then said, "Yes, they are all friends." Originally, Shaolin had maintained that Master Xuanbei was killed by the Gusu Murong family. They considered the Murong family as their nemesis. This time, he came together with Deng Baichuan to seek medical treatment. Along the way, Deng Baichuan and Gong Yugan insisted that Master Xuanbei was not killed by their young master, Murong. Xuanan was about 70 to 80% convinced. In addition, they braved dangers together and collaborated towards a common goal. He finally treated them as friends. When Gong Yugang heard his words, he turned and nodded towards him. "Oh, you're from Texas. Gotcha." Divine Physician Sui said, "Since we are all friends, then it couldn't be much better. Everyone, please go underground. Master Xuanan, please lead the way." Although he said those words, he still rushed ahead and led the way. The underground cellar was pitch black. It was a very dangerous place to be in. The martial arts fraternity is full of deadly secrets and traps. No one trusted each other. Thus, to show respect for visitors, he had to personally lead the way and enter first. As the divine physician Sui entered the hole, Xuanan followed him and entered as well. Everyone supported the injured and followed soon after. They even carried the corpse of Xuan Tong in. The divine physician Shui operated a motor, and the big stone slab moved and covered the hole. He operated the motor again, and everyone heard a faint squeaking sound. The cassia tree moved back to its original position and covered the stone slab. The interior was a stretch of stone steps. Everyone had to stoop down to travel. After traveling for a while, the ceiling gradually got higher. They reached a natural tunnel. They traveled for around 10 zhang and arrived at a spacious cavern. Over 20 people were seated by the corner beside a torch. The people consisted of male, female, young, and old. When these people heard footsteps, they turned their heads and looked at them. Divine Physician Shui said, "These people are my family members. The current situation is urgent. I won't ask them to come over and pay their respects. Please forgive my lack of manners. Big brother, second brother, how did you come here?" He did not wait for their reply and immediately started examining everyone's injuries. He examined Xuan Tong first. Divine Physician Shui said, "This great master achieved enlightenment and has passed away. It is gratifying and joyous." He examined Deng Baichuan, smiled, and said, "My seventh sister's flower pollen will only make you drunk and intoxicated. There is no poison. He will wake up after a while." The middle-aged woman, an opera actor, suffered external injuries, although the injuries were not light, but it was a small matter for the divine physician Shui. He took Bao Butong and Feng Bo's pulse. He closed his eyes and pondered deeply. After a long time, divine physician Shui shook his head and said, "Strange, strange. Who injured these people?" Gong Yugan said, "It's a weird-looking youngster." Divine Physician Shui shook his head and said, "Youngster, this person's martial arts possesses both extremes of good and evil. His internal energy is extremely profound. It has at least 30 years of cultivation. How can he be a youngster?" Xuanan said, "It certainly is a youngster, but his palm strength is deep and profound. My martial brother Xuantong clashed palms with him and also suffered this frost poison. He is the disciple of the old freak of Xingxiu." Divine Physician Shui was startled. "Even the disciple of old freak of Xingxiu is this powerful? Amazing, amazing." He shook his head and said, "Regrettable, regrettable. The frost poison of these two senior brothers, I am really powerless against it. From now on, I don't dare to be known as the divine physician." I don't dare? I wouldn't dare. Suddenly, a bright, resonant voice said, "Since this is the assessment of divine physician Shui, we will take our leave immediately." The voice came from Deng Baichuan. He finally woke up after being intoxicated by the flower pollen. He heard the divine physician Shui's diagnosis. Babu Tong said, That's right. Hide underground for what? Life and death is fated. How can we imitate tortoise and mole and hide in an underground cavern?" The divine physician Shui laughed grimly. "You are extremely boastful. Do you know who is waiting outside?" Feng Bo said, "You are all scared of the old freak of Xingxiu, but I am not afraid. You all have superior martial arts, but it's all in vain. You people get scared out of your wits when you hear the name of the old freak of Xingxiu." The zither elder said, "You are no match for me. The old freak of Xingxiu is my martial uncle. You tell me whether he's powerful or not." Xuanan changed the subject and said, "This old monk has things he doesn't understand. I wish to seek clarification." Divine Physician Shui said, "The 8 of us are fellow apprentice. We are known as the 8 Friends of Hanggu." He pointed at the zither elder and said, "This is our elder brother. I am number 5. The rest of the matters are really complicated and not easy to explain. Moreover, it is useless to tell outsiders." Before he could finish, everyone suddenly heard a thin and soft voice calling, "Sui Mu Hua, why aren't you coming out to see me?" The voice was thin yet balanced. It seemed to be faint and indistinct, but everyone in the tunnel heard it clearly. The voice was like a long string, penetrating Tenjiang through the ground, and followed the complicated winding tunnel before entering the ear. The zither elder was so surprised that he leapt up. He said in a trembling voice, Old freak of Xingxiu." Feng Bo said loudly, "Big brother, second brother, third brother, let us all go out and fight to the death with him." The zither elder said, "No, you cannot do that. You must never do that. It doesn't matter if you go out and die a foolish death, but you will reveal this hiding place, and the lives of all the people here will be sacrificed by your stupid bravery." Babu Tong said, "His voice can penetrate this underground cave. Won't he know that we are hiding here? Even if you become a tortoise, He will still force you out. You cannot hope to avoid him. The Judge Pen Scholar and the Bookworm said, He won't be able to enter this place for a while. Everyone, let us think of a good strategy to deal with him. The carpenter kept silent throughout. At this moment, he interrupted. Although Martial Uncle Ding is highly skilled, but he will require at least 4 hours to break through this underground mechanism. He will need another 4 hours to think of a strategy to attack into this cave. The Zither Elder said, Excellent. We have 8 hours. We can consider carefully and take our time, correct? The carpenter said, 9 hours. The Zither Elder said, Where did the extra 1 hour come from? The carpenter said, Within this 8 hours, I can arrange another 3 mechanisms. It can delay him for another hour. The Zither Elder said, Very good. Great Master Xuannan, when that big devil comes in at the scheduled time, we 8 fellow apprentices will most probably not be able to escape his evil clutches. All of you are outsiders. The big devil will focus his attention on us martial nephews. All of you should be able to escape. You should not try to be a hero and fight to the death with him. Being able to escape the old freak of Xingxiu is already considered to be a very heroic action. Babu Tong said, You're farting! Everyone started sniffing, but they did not detect any stench. They gazed questioningly at Babu Tong. Babu Tong pointed at the Zither Elder and said, This person is bullshitting. It stinks so bad. Previously, he was subdued by the Zither Elder in a single move. He felt resentment in his heart. Although his frost poison had flared up at that time, and he did not have any strength to resist, he was well aware that his martial arts was greatly inferior to his. The stronger his opponent, the more he wanted to curse. The chessboard-wielding man gave him one glance and said, You can't even escape from my senior martial brother's palm. My martial uncle's martial arts is 10 times better than his. Now you tell me who is the one bullshitting here. Babu Tong said, Not true. Superior martial arts is not related to bullshitting. If your martial arts is high, you can't bullshit. If you don't bullshit, your martial arts is high. Confucius didn't know martial arts. Maybe he specializes in bullshit. Deng Baichuan pondered. The words of these people aren't unreasonable. Third brother is just debating and joking around with them. We should not waste the time we have here. He interrupted. Everyone, I did not know your origin, and this led to numerous misunderstandings. I even accidentally injured this lady. I feel terribly apologetic. Since we met a common enemy today, we are one big family. Later, when this powerful enemy comes in, although the subordinates of young Master Murong are unworthy, we will never run away. If we can't resist him, then we will simply just die together. Xuannan said, Heifeng, Suzhu, later on, if both of you see the opportunity, you must try to escape and return back to the Shaolin Temple to report this matter to the abbot. So Heifeng and Suzhu are the two junior monks. In the event that everyone is eliminated by that devil, at least we can get crucial information delivered. 6 Shaolin monks said in unison, We respectfully obey your orders. Xue Muhua and Deng Baichuan heard the speech by Xuannan. They knew his mind was set, and everyone would live or die together. Even though they now had another strong helper against the old freak of Xingxiu, they still did not feel confident in winning. The Zither Elder was expressionless throughout. Suddenly he clapped his hands and laughed. Everyone is going to die today. Even if Martial Brother Xuan Ku did not die, he would not get the chance to hear my wonderful song, Humming of a Reed. Why do I need to feel sad for his death? Alas, alas. Someone told me that Kang Guanling, is a big idiot. I always refuse to accept but now it seems even if I am not a big idiot, I am still a small idiot. Babu Tong said, You really are a genuine big idiot, this big stupid fool. The zither elder Kang Guangling said, I don't think I am more foolish than you. Babu Tong said, You're 10 times more foolish than me. Kang Guangling said, You are 100 times more foolish than me. You're 1,000 times more foolish than me. You are 10,000 times more foolish than me. You are 100,000 times more foolish than me. 1,000,000 times. 10,000,000 times. Shui Muhua said, You two are about the same. Both of you are equally foolish. All the masters from Shaolin, when you safely return back to your temple, your abbot will definitely ask about the cause and effect of this matter. I am afraid you won't be able to answer. This matter is a shameful incident in my sect. It's not related to outsiders. But to eliminate this scourge from the martial arts fraternity, we need the help of senior monks from Shaolin. Thus, I will now narrate in detail the entire matter. But after hearing it, please only report back to your abbot. Do not leak or divulge it to another person. Okay. Now we get to know the history of these guys. See what happened. Huifang, Shuzhu, and the rest of the monks said in unison, The words of divine physician Shui, junior monk, will only report it to our abbot. We will never leak half a word to other people. Shui Muhua said to Kang Guangling. Kang Guangling is the elder, the zither elder. Senior martial brother, I will now narrate the intermediate of details of this affair. Although Kang Guangling was the most senior apprentice among the 8 of them, and his martial arts greatly exceeded his peers, his personality was very childish and naive. Shui Muhua was only trying to preserve Kang Guangling's status and prestige by asking him for permission in front of outsiders. Kang Guangling said, This is so strange. Your mouth is your own. Just say it if you like it. Why the need to ask me for permission? Shui Muhua said, Great Master Shui Nen, Master Deng, our master is known as Mr. Intelligent. Why? Our master is known as Mr. Intelligent. Shui Nen, Deng Baichuan, and the rest were all startled. They said in unison, What? Mr. Intelligent is the deaf-mute old man. This person was born deaf and mute. He adopted a nickname and called himself Mr. Intelligent. All of his disciples and followers had their eardrums pierced and their tongues cut off. This fact was known by everyone. But Kang Guangling and the rest of you are perfectly normal. This is extremely strange. Shui Muhua said, My master's disciples and followers are deaf and mute, but this was only for the past 10 years. My master is not deaf, and he is certainly not mute. He was agitated by his younger martial brother, the old freak of Xingxiu, Ding Chunqiu, and became deaf and mute. Okay, so the old freak of Xingxiu is the younger martial brother of this Mr. Intelligent guy. Shui Nen and the rest gave an "oh" sound. Shui Muhua continued, My grandmaster took in 2 disciples. The senior disciple is surnamed Shu, named Xinghe. Naturally, he is our master. The second disciple is Ding Chunqiu. Their martial arts were originally on par with each other, but eventually one of them became slightly better. Babu Tong interrupted. Whoa, say no further. Your martial uncle Ding Chunqiu must have surpassed your master. Shui Muhua said, You can't say that. My grand master is a celestial being of knowledge, his skills all-encompassing. Babu Tong said, Not necessarily. Shui Muhua knew Babu Tong liked to argue for the sake of arguing. He ignored him and continued. Originally, my master and Ding Chunchu both focused solely on martial arts, but afterwards, my master's attention was divided. He learned music and zither from my grand master. Bao Butong pointed at Kang Guangling and said, "Oh, your stupid zither skills must have been acquired from your master." Kang Guangling glared at him and said, "Obviously, my skills came from my master. Don't tell me it came from you." Xue Muhua said, "It's not much of a hindrance if my master only learned zither skills, but my grand master's knowledge was simply too vast. Zither, chess, calligraphy, painting, medicine, divination and astrology, arts and crafts, finance and commerce, plants and pottery. He knew everything." This is a man of culture. He mastered all of them. Originally, my master only learned zither skills, but soon after he started to learn chess, and then calligraphy, and then painting. Everyone please think for a moment. All these skills require painstaking effort and time. Initially, Ding Chunqiu pretended to be interested and tried to learn all these skills, but after 10 to 15 days, he claimed his aptitude was low, and he was too stupid. It was difficult for him to learn. Thus, he focused solely on martial arts. After 8 to 10 years, their martial arts were at different levels. Okay, so Ding Chunqiu, they didn't practice all of the other skills, but their master did. So after a while, Ding Chunqiu's martial arts became better than their master's. Xuan nodded his head repeatedly. He said, "Learning zither or chess alone would require half a lifetime of effort and energy. Although Mr. Intelligent is smart and talented, it's difficult for him to undertake such tasks." Ding Chunqiu gave his undivided attention to martial arts. It's not surprising that his martial arts would eventually surpass his senior martial brother. Kang Guangling said, Fifth brother, there is something even more important. Why aren't you telling them? Quickly, tell them." Xue Muhua said, "Ding Chunqiu focused solely on martial arts. It should be a good thing, but if I narrate this matter, it would be really shameful for our sect." Ding Chunqiu took advantage of the fact that he was younger than Grandmaster by 20 to 30 years. He was also handsome and elegant. Unexpectedly, he seduced Grandmaster's lover. Oh, damn. This matter really disgraced my Grandmaster. We were sympathetic and didn't say anything. We pretended to be deaf and mute. To cut the long story short, Ding Chunqiu used various despicable tricks. He also mastered some extremely evil skills. Grandmaster tried to kill him in his fit of rage, but Ding Chunqiu made the first move and managed to inflict serious injuries on my Grandmaster. Luckily, my Grandmaster possessed peerless skills. Although he was backstabbed, he managed to resist until my master arrived to save him. My master's martial arts were no match against that evil traitor. After a fierce battle, my master was injured, and Grandmaster fell into a deep ravine, his whereabouts unknown. My master neglected his martial arts as he learned various miscellaneous skills, but these miscellaneous skills were not completely useless. In the midst of danger, my master deployed his 8 divinatory trigrams and complex metaphysical art. Ding Chunqiu's sight and hearing was disturbed, both of them deadlocked in a stalemate. Ding Chunqiu was unable to break through the formation or kill my master. Moreover, he knew there were quite a few divine skills in the sect, and Grand Master did not impart these skills to either disciples. He expected Grandmaster to pass on the manuals of these divine skills to my master, and he would slowly coerce my master to hand them over. Thus, he made a pact with my master. As long as my master remained silent and not speak, he would not trouble him. At that time, my master had the 8 of us as his worthless disciples. My master wrote a letter and expelled us. and from that point onwards he pretended to be deaf and mute, never speaking or hearing a word. His subsequent disciples and followers all had their eardrums pierced and tongues cut off. His sect became known as the deaf-mute sect. Damn, why would you want to join that sect? In my opinion, Master must have regretted getting distracted and learning all sorts of miscellaneous skills. His martial arts suffered, and he fell short against Ding Chun-Chiu. Thus he became deaf and mute, so that he would never get distracted and learn those miscellaneous skills. The 8 of us, other than learning martial arts, each one of us also picked up a unique miscellaneous skill. At that time, Ding Chun-Chiu had yet to revolt. My master had yet to understand the ill effects of being distracted. Thus, he did not forbid us to learn the miscellaneous skills. He even encouraged us, and spent time to specially instruct us. Senior martial brother Kang Guanling learned zither from him. Bao Butong said, "He only knows how to play zither to cows. Nobody understands." Kang Guanling was furious. "My zither skill is poor. Come, I will play it for you now." And he took out his jade zither and placed it horizontally on his kneecaps. Xue Muhua quickly held out his hand to stop him. He pointed at the chessboard-wielding person and said, "This is my second brother, Fang Bailing. He learned the game of Go. He is one of the most skilled chess players around, and rarely meets his match." Bao Butong gave a glance at Fang Bailing and said, "It's not surprising that you use a chessboard as your weapon, but the chessboard is made of magnetic metal. It traps and takes away your opponent's weapon. It's a cheap trick, not the actions of an upright gentleman." Fang Bailing said, "When playing chess, there are magnificent moments and orderly deployment of chess pieces, but there are also moments where you need to employ sly tactics and ambush." Xue Muhua said, "The chessboard of second brother Fan is made of magnetic metal. Originally, it's for his research in chess. When he is walking, sitting, or sleeping, he will have suddenly inspirations, and he will set up his chessboard to try out the moves. Since the chessboard is made of magnetic metal, when he put the chess piece on it, even if he is traveling on horse, the chess piece will never move or drop off. Afterwards, he found the chessboard to be quite convenient, and hence made it as his weapon. The chess piece became his hidden projectile. He did not purposely make use of magnet to take advantage of his opponents." Although Bao Butong was convinced, he still argued. "But reason is not justified, really not justified. Based on second brother Fan's skills, he can simply use a wooden chessboard and smack the metal chess piece onto the board to embed it. Don't tell me the chess piece will still drop off." Xue Muhua said, "It's still not as convenient as using a metal chessboard. My third brother Go, his name is Du. It represents his fondness in reading. The 100 schools of thought, he read them all. He is an extremely knowledgeable scholar. I think everyone must have witnessed it." Bao Butong said, "He's just a lowly scholar, not worth mentioning." Go Du was furious. "What? You call me a lowly scholar? Don't tell me you are a noble scholar." "I don't deserve such praise. I don't deserve such praise." Xue Muhua knew that if these two started debating, they wouldn't stop, even after 3 days and nights. He quickly interrupted and changed the subject. He pointed at the judge pen-wielding scholar and said, "This is my fourth brother. He was an expert in painting, landscape, or people. Animals or flowers, he can draw them elaborately. His surname is Wu. Before he came under the tutelage of our master, he was a general of the great Song and led the army. Thus everyone called him Wu Lingjun. I'm afraid he led the army to its defeat. As for his paintings, you can't distinguish between human or ghost." Wu Lingjun said, "If you ask me to describe your face, it's certainly hard to differentiate you from a ghost." Bao Butong burst out into loud laughter. "Buddy, if you have time, can you please draw my face as an example? A ghost picture. It will be really wonderful." Xue Muhua laughed and said, "Brother Bao is handsome and elegant. Why so modest? I am ranked number 5. I learned medicine and medical procedures. I have some minor reputation in the martial arts fraternity. I still remembered the martial arts taught by my master. Babu Tong said, You can barely treat the common cough and cold. As for my frost poison, you can't do anything at all. You can't treat any serious illness. Anyone seeking treatment will just die. Hey, this title of divine physician, it surely is well deserved. Kang Guangling smoothed his long sleeves. He looked askance. He said, Hey, old chap, your temper is really odd. You really stand out from the masses. Babu Tong said, Haha, my surname is Bao. Named Bu Tong. Naturally, I stand out from the masses. Apparently that's a pun on his name. Kang Guangling laughed heartily. Your surname is really Bao, named Bu Tong. How can my name be fake? This old chap who specializes in making mechanisms. You're skilled in construction and industrial arts. You must be under the tutelage of Mr. Lu Bang. Xue Muhua said, Exactly as you stated. Sixth brother, Feng Asang. Before joining the sect, he was already a skilled carpenter. After entering into our master's tutelage, he became even more skillful. Seventh sister Shi is skilled in growing flowers. She has cultivated all sorts of exotic flowers and rare herbs, all of them flourishing. Deng Baichuan said, The drug which made me dizzy, Miss Shi must have gotten them from flower pollens, not poison. The pretty middle-aged woman was known as Shi Qingfeng. She gave a faint smile. I offended you just now. Teacher Deng, please forgive me. Deng Baichuan said, I am even more impertinent. I exerted too much strength and injured you. Miss, please forgive me. Xue Muhua pointed at the opera actor and said, Eighth brother Li Kui Lei. Throughout his entire life, he was addicted to acting opera. He is wild and unrestrained. As for martial arts, he inevitably neglected it due to his passion for opera. Alas, it's not only him. The 8 of us all neglected our martial arts. The martial arts imparted by my master, I will never be able to master it during my lifetime. But I was greedy and went around to learn other people's unique moves. As a result, Li Kuei-lei was lying down on the floor. He said, I am lonely, Emperor Li Cun-shu. I don't love my country, but I love opera. Well played, well played. Babu Tong said, I am lonely Emperor Li Shiyuan. I overthrow and took over your country. I chop off your head. Bookworm Go-Du interrupted. Li Cun-shu was killed by his own subordinate, Guo Tongqiang. He did not die by Li Shiyuan's hands. Babu Tong was not familiar with such matters. He knew he definitely couldn't try to fake information and bluff Go-Du. He said, Bah! So what if it's Guo Tongxian Yuan? I am Qin Shi Huang. I burn the books and bury alive the Confucian scholars. I specialize in dealing with lowly scholars. Xue Muhua said, After the 8 of us was expelled from the sect, we did not forget our master's benevolence and instructions. We called ourselves the 8 Friends of Hanggu to commemorate the times when master imparted the skills to us at Hanggu Pass. Outsiders only know that we share vile habits. Babu Tong sniffed a few times with his nose. He said, Very smelly, very smelly. Go-Du said, The Book of Changes says, The unanimous opinion of people is as strong as the smell of orchid. The smell is sweet fragrance. Old chap, you really lack any knowledge. Babu Tong said, Your words are so fragrant that it smells like fart. Xue Muhua smiled and said, No one knows that we came from the same sect and our fellow apprentices to guard against the old freak of Xing Xiu when he returned to the Central Plains, and to avoid letting him kill all of us in one fell swoop. We only meet once every 2 years. Normally we scatter all over the world and live apart. Okay. So he just introduced us to all of the 8 people. That better be important because that was a long introduction. All right. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Take a break. All right. So this guy just introduced us to his all his 8 brothers and sisters. So let's see what he says next. Not long ago, Ding Chunqiu sent his disciple here. He asked me to treat a big-bellied monk. The one surnamed Shui has a weird temper. If someone wanted medical treatment, he definitely has to ask me nicely. Moreover, the person who came to seek treatment was a disciple of the old freak Ding. Naturally, I didn't want to treat. The person is unable to coerce me and left in rage. I knew the old freak Ding would come sooner or later. Thus, I feigned my death and put deadly poison in the coffin, hoping that he would take the bait. My entire family, young and old, all hid in this underground cave. Oh, that's why. Bao Butong said, "Do you want someone to ask you nicely when requesting treatment? How is this weird? The one surnamed Bao also has a weird temper. If someone wants to treat my illness, he has to ask me nicely and not pressure or coerce me. Else I will rather die of illness than let him treat it." Kang Guangling burst into loud laughter. "You think you are some kind of rare treasure? People provide you with treatment, and they still have to plead with you. Unless... He couldn't think of the scenario. Babu Tong said, "Unless you are my son." Kang Guanling was startled and thought the words were pretty true. If a father had a son who refused to see a doctor, he has to beg and plead persistently. He was a reasonable person, but he didn't expect Bao Butong to take advantage of him with wordplay. He said, "Hey, I am not your son. Only your mother knows whether you're my son or not. How would you know you're not?" Kang Guangling was startled. He nodded his head and said, "Quite true." Bao Butong laughed and thought, "This person is really a big idiot. This will just be a one-sided contest if I continue to take advantage of him." Xue Muhua said, "There is too much coincidence. The 8 of us are supposed to meet again after 2 years. My old servant mistook all of you as the enemy. The situation was urgent. He did not consult me and immediately set off the fireworks signal. The fireworks were made by my 6th brother. When set off, they illuminate the skies for several li. There are 8 of us, and each one has a unique firework signal. This matter is really fortunate and yet unfortunate. The fortunate thing is that the 8 friends of Hanggu can assemble in times of danger to resist the enemy together. But the unfortunate thing is that the old freak of Xingxiu can solve his problem in one fell swoop and kill the 8 of us." Bao Butong said, "Even though the old freak of Xingxiu is highly skilled, he might not be superior to Master Xuan Nen from Shaolin. In addition, there is all of us, the minor troops. He would shout loudly to show our power and do our utmost and fight with them. We might not lose. There's no need to be so. As he said "so" 3 times, his teeth started clattering with each other. His frost poison flared up, and he could no longer talk. Ryan M., thank you so much. I appreciate it. Li Kuei-lei sang loudly, "I am Jing Ke, who tried to assassinate Qin Shi Huang. Feng Xiaoxiao contracted a cold. The brave warrior shivered and can't speak." Suddenly, a shadow of a human flew up and rammed headfirst at Li Kuei-lei's chest. Li Kuei-lei cried, "Aiyo!" and waved his arm to push the person away. The person grabbed onto him and they started fighting. The person was Gust of Wind Feng Bo. Deng Baichuan quickly said, "Fourth brother, don't be rude," and he extended his hands to pull Feng Bo away. Deng Baichuan said, "Everyone is very frank. You did not cover the truth. You are certainly a true friend. We are facing a powerful enemy. We don't know if we will live or die. We, Gusu Murong, will also tell you everything we know. Previously, our old master Murong discussed something with us. He said the Grand Master of Ding Chunqiu practiced a skill called the Eternal Youth Never Aging skill. Oh, I wonder what that skill does. Old Master Murong told us, this eternal youth and never aging is fake. Everyone must die eventually. But with the correct cultivation of internal energy, you can delay aging. A 30 to 40-year-old woman can appear as if she is 18 to 19 years old. A 50 to 60-year-old married woman can make their skin radiant and flesh supple, face snow white and lips red, as if she is 20 to 30 years old. All women want to maintain their youthfulness, but aren't men the same? Ding Chunqiu did not kill your Grand Master. Most likely, he is trying to coerce him to impart this set of eternal youth skill. Ding Chunqiu most probably tried to practice this skill, but is not very effective, and he is slowly showing signs of aging. If he knows this eternal youth skill is losing its effectiveness, he will most likely come to Suzhou and try to search for a book. Godu said, "Look for a book? This is strange. He should come and ask me." Deng Baichuan said, "Mr. Go, although you are a scholar with great erudition, but the secrets to the eternal youth skill most probably can't be found in the books you read. Ding Chunqiu seduced your Grand Master's lover. The two of them escaped to Suzhou and live in seclusion in a village near Lake Tai. The large quantities of martial arts manuals which they stole were also hidden at Suzhou." Xuannan said, "If they want to look for a book, then simply let them look." Deng Baichuan said, "We knew the ambition of the old freak Ding is not small. If he purely wants to use that eternal youth skill to delay aging, no matter how handsome he is, he will simply not look at this sickening face. He will simply not look at his sickening face. But I am afraid his real intention is to strengthen his great energy dissolving skill." Xuannan trembled with fear. He said, "I want to ask Divine Physician Shui, the great energy dissolving skill, how exactly does it work?" Everyone in the martial arts fraternity all turned pale when they hear about the skill, and they detest it bitterly. Shui Muhua said, "It's rumored that this demonic skill requires a lot of venom fluid from poisonous snakes and bugs. This fluid will be absorbed into the palm when fighting with an opponent. This deadly poison will be transferred to the other party. When we practice martial arts, our internal energy flow from the meridian's channel. For example, the Guangkang acupoint is connected to the 3 yin meridian. The Da Jui acupoint is connected to the 3 yang meridian of hand and feet. If these 2 acupoints come into contact with poison, the internal energy within these meridians would seem to disappear without a trace. Ordinary people spread lies and claim that Ding Chunqiu can dissolve internal energy. But in my opinion, since the internal energy is already cultivated, it cannot be dissolved. Old Freak Ding sends his deadly poison into his opponent's meridian's channel and stops his opponent from exerting internal energy. The victim will assume that his internal energy is gone. It's the same logic as contracting normal poison. The poison will spread to the brain, and the victim will feel numbness in his hands and feet, but it doesn't mean the muscle strength is dissolved. I invite Great Master to correct me if I am wrong." Xuannan nodded his head and said, "Okay, so the energy dissolving skill does not actually dissolve energy. It sends... It just stops his opponent from exerting internal energy." Xuannan nodded his head and said, "Divine Physician is correct. You cleared all my doubts and suspicions." At this moment, a thin, slender voice transmitted into the cave. "Disciples of Shu Xinghe, quickly come out and surrender. Maybe I can still spare your life. If you still delay, don't blame me for disregarding sect relations. Kang Guangling was furious and cursed. He's really shameless, still dares to talk about sect relations. Feng Asan said to Shui Muhua, Fifth brother, looking at the wood markings and stone quality, this cave is around 300 years. Which skilled workman made it? Shui Muhua said, This property is passed down by my ancestors. It is passed on from generation to generation. It can be used for refuge in times of danger, but I don't know who constructed it. He did not complete his sentence as a loud exploding sound was heard. It was like an earthquake. Everyone felt the ground sway and vibrate, their footing unstable. Feng Asan's expressions turned pale. He said, Not good! Old Freak Ding used explosives to forcibly blow open the entrance. He's going to attack soon. Kang Guangling was furious. Despicable to the extreme! Shameless! Our Grand Master and Master are skilled in building and crafting. Mechanism and traps are sect's specialty. Old Freak of Xingxiu did not even invest effort to try and unravel the mechanism. He simply used explosives and blew everything to bits. How can he be considered a disciple of our sect? Bao Butong shivered and said, He killed his master, injured his fellow martial brother. You still consider him as your martial uncle? Kang Guangling said, This... Suddenly there was another loud explosion. The dust in the cavern flew about and irritated everyone's eyes. The cave was sealed off and did not allow airflow. After this explosion, a draft of fresh air surged in. Everyone felt their eardrum ache. Xuannan said, Rather than allow him to blow open this cave and attack in, we will be better off going out and attacking him. Deng Baichuan, Gong Yigang, Bao Butong, and Feng Boe all agreed in unison. Fan Bailing knew Xuannan was a senior eminent monk from Shaolin. Asking him to hide in a cave to avoid the enemy was really a disgrace to the fame of Shaolin. Since this battle was unavoidable, he said, If that's the case, let us all go out together. We will risk our lives and fight that old freak. Finally. Xue Muhua said, Great Master Xuannan, you don't have any enmity with this old freak. It's best that you don't get involved, and stand aside and watch. Xuannan said, Shaolin will interfere in all matters related to martial arts in the Central Plains. You lot have to forgive me for interfering. Moreover, my martial brother Xuan Tong's death is due to the poison of the disciple of Xingxiu. Thus, Shaolin has deep enmity with this Xingxiu sect. Feng Asan said, Great Master is willing to help us. Your sense of justice, we fellow apprentices are extremely grateful. Let us go out by the original path and surprise that old freak. Everyone nodded their heads and agreed. Feng Asan said, The family of 5th Brother Shui, Mr. Bao, and Mr. Feng can stay in this cave. I don't think the old freak will come in and search. Bao Butong gave him a glance and said, It's better that you stay here. Feng Asang quickly said, I wouldn't dare to look down on you two, but both of you carry serious injuries. It's not convenient for you to fight. The heavier the injury, when we start fighting, the more energy we have. Fan Bailing and the rest all shook their heads. This person was really impervious to reason. Feng Asan operated the cave motor. In the midst of operating the motor, 3 cannon fires rang out. Pung, pung, pung. They exploded, and white smoke pervaded the area. After the cannon fire, the stone slab finally moved away, revealing a hole big enough for a person to pass. Feng Asan quickly crawled out. Feng Asan had yet to stand up when a black figure emerged from the white smoke. The figure moved past him and rushed out towards a crowd of people outside and shouted, Which one of you is old freak of Xingxiu? The one surnamed Feng will fight with you. The person is Gust of Wind, Feng Boe. This Feng Boe really wants to fight. He saw a man standing in front. He was wearing hemp clothes. Feng Bo shouted loudly, "Eat my fist!" Pung! His fist already hit the person's chest. The person was the 9th disciple of the Xingqiu sect. His body swayed, and Feng Bo's second fist hit him on his shoulder. Chopping and slapping sounds rang out endlessly. Feng Bo executed his moves quickly. It seemed all his fists and palms landed on his opponent's body, but he was devoid of strength after contracting the poison. He could not topple the Xingqiu disciple. Xue Nan, Deng Baichuan, Kang Guangling, and Xue Muhua all came out of the cave. They saw a tall and big old man standing at the southwest corner. To his left and right is one short man and one tall man. The Iron-Head man was one of them. Kang Guangling shouted, "Old traitor Ding, you still not dead yet? Remember me?" The tall and big old man was the old freak of Xingqiu, Ding Chunqiu. When he captured Hui Jing, he wanted to force him to look for the frost silkworm. Hui Jing was that other Shaolin monk. But he found that the monk was extremely sick. He quickly searched for Xue Muhua to ask him to provide treatment. Xue Muhua tried to fake death, but he eventually still couldn't escape Ding Chunqiu. Ding Chunqiu gave a quick glance and recognized all his opponents. He waved his feathered fan and said, "Nephew Muhua, if you can cure that fat Shaolin monk, I will spare your life, but you have to take me as your master and join the Xingqiu sect." Originally, he wanted Xue Muhua to just cure the monk Hui Jing, and he would bring them to the Kunlun Mountains to catch the frost silkworm. But afterwards, he wanted to recruit Xue Muhua, so that both of them can research the secrets to the eternal youth never-aging skill. Xue Muhua listened to his tone and expression. Ding Chunqiu disregarded all the opponents before him. He seemed confident of controlling everyone's life and death, and to do as he pleases. Xue Muhua knew his martial uncle was very powerful. He felt scared. He said, "Old traitor Ding, I only listen to the orders of one person. Whoever he asks me to treat, I will do it. It's easy for you to kill me, but to treat someone, you will have to beg that person." Ding Chunqiu said coldly, "You only listen to orders from Shu Xinghe, correct? Only scoundrels who are worse than beasts will dare to deceive and exterminate their master." As he said this, Kang Guangling, Fang Bailing, and Li Kuei-lei all cheered. Ding Chunqiu said, "Very good. All of you are obedient disciples of Shu Xinghe. But Shu Xinghe already sent someone to inform me that he had long expelled the 8 of you. You people are no longer his disciples. Don't tell me that the one surnamed Shu lied and secretly maintained this master and disciple relationship." Fan Bailing said, "Master for a day, master for an entire life. Master did expel the 8 of us. All these years we never saw him at all. When we dropped by to pay our respects, he refused to see us. But our love and respect for our master has never decreased at all. The one surnamed Ding, you are the reason why the 8 of us became lonely souls and wandering ghosts with no sect to depend on." Ding Chunqiu smiled and said, "Your words are quite true. Shu Xinghe, he was afraid that I would kill all of you. He expelled the 8 of you to preserve your insignificant lives. He is not willing to pierce your eardrums or cut off your tongue. He really has deep feelings for you people. Huh. What great things can he achieve by being so indecisive and faint-hearted? Hey, very good. All of you tell me, will you still consider Shu Xinghe as your master?" When Kang Guangling and the rest heard his words, they knew that if they claimed that they were still the disciples of Shu Xinghe, Ding Chunqiu would immediately kill them. But the relationship between master and disciple was deep. How could they be cowardly and betray their master? Out of the 8, only Shi Qingfeng was seriously injured. and had to stay behind in the cave. The 7 of them shouted in unison, "Although we are expelled, the relationship between master and disciple is eternal and will never change." Li Kuei-lei suddenly shouted, I am the mother of old freak of Xingxiu. I had an affair with the dog of Erlung Shen and gave birth to this little bastard. I will break your dog leg." He imitated the accent of an old lady, and then he barked 3 times like a dog. Kang Guanling, Bao Butong, and the rest all laughed wildly. Ding Chunqiu was in a towering rage. His eyes gave a peculiar radiance. He flicked his left sleeve. A stream of oily green flames shot towards Li Kuei-lei. It was even faster than a shooting star. Li Kuei-lei already suffered a broken leg. He was holding on to a wooden crutch and couldn't move freely. He wanted to dodge the flame, but how could he do it in time? There was a ch sound, and his clothes ignited. He quickly lay on the ground and rolled, but as he rolled, the flames became even more fierce. Fan Bailing quickly grabbed some mud off the ground and sprayed it onto his body. Meteor flames shot out from Ding Chunqiu's sleeves in quick succession. It went towards Kang Guanling and the other 4. Only Xue Muhua was spared. Kang Guanling pushed out with both palms and shook the flames away. Xuanan waved both his palms and cleaved 2 flames, but Feng Asan and Fan Bailing got hit, and their clothes ignited. Immediately, the 2 of them, along with Li Kuei-lei, got burnt and cried out in pain. The numerous disciples of Ding Chunqiu praised, "Master only displays his little trick, and you all turned into roasted pigs. Quickly, surrender now. Master has the ability to shift the heavens and split the ground. No one has ever done it before him, and no one will be able to replicate it in the future. You all pigs and dogs really get to see the power of Xingxiu sect today. Master triumphs in every battle and wins every fight. He is the hero of the ancient and modern times. Be swept away by his might and power." Bao Butong shouted loudly, "Bullshit! Bullshit! Hey yo, this is so corny. Old thief Ding, you are really thick-skinned." Bao Butong just barely finished speaking when 2 meteor flames swiftly came at him. Deng Baichuan and Gong Yugang both sent out a palm and deflected the flames, but both of them felt as if a giant hammer smashed their chests. They groaned and quickly took 3 steps back. Ding Chunqiu used his powerful internal energy to send out the meteor flame. Xuanan and Kang Guanling had high internal energy, and they did not suffer any injuries when they deflected the flame. Deng Baichuan and Gong Yugang were not at the same level, and they could not withstand it. Xuanan moved towards Li Kuei-lei and waved his palm. The palm force brushed across his body. There was a chi sound, and his clothes were ripped apart by the palm force. Large portions of clothes tore off. The remaining flames that continued to burn were extinguished by the palm wind. A disciple of the Xingxiu sect called out, "The palm force of this bald donkey is not too weak. It's around 10% of my master's level." Another disciple said, "Peh, it's only around 1%. Xuanan sent out another 2 palms and extinguished the flame on Fan Bailing and Feng Asan. At this moment, Deng Baichuan, Gong Yugang, Kang Guanling, and the rest had thrown themselves into the crowd and attacked the disciples of the Xingxiu sect. Ding Chunqiu stroked his long beard and said, Senior monk from Shaolin is indeed extraordinary. Little brother will ask you for advice today." As he finished speaking, he took a step forward. His left palm floated lightly towards Xuanan. He considered himself to be a young man. He did not call himself old man, but little brother. Xuanan knew the old freak Ding had deadly poison covering his entire body. He was also proficient in the great energy dissolving skill. Thus he dared not be complacent. Both his palms danced about. Immediately he sent out 18 palm strikes at Ding Chunqiu. This 18 palm strikes came out consecutively in a chain. His left palm had yet to withdraw, but his right palm already struck out. It was incomparably fast. He did not give Ding Chunqiu any time to use his poison. This was Shaolin's quick palm. It was indeed strong and formidable, as Ding Chunqiu was forced to retreat continuously. Xuan'an sent out 18 palms, and Ding Chunqiu retreated 18 steps. After completing 18 palm strikes, both his legs flew up consecutively in a chain. It was incomparably fast, and he kicked out 36 times. The shadow of his leg flashed. Nobody could tell whether he kicked out with his left leg or his right. Ding Chunqiu moved his body and quickly sidestepped. He avoided the 36 kicks, but he heard 2 slapping sounds. His shoulders were hit by 2 fists. It seemed when Xuan'an was on his last 2 kicks, he sent out both his fists. Ding Chunqiu avoided the kicks, but he couldn't avoid the fists. Ding Chunqiu said, "Very powerful." His body swayed 2 times. But Xuan'an felt a burst of dizziness. He felt distracted and empty. He knew the situation was not good. Ding Chunqiu clothed his Ding Chunqiu's clothes was covered with deadly poison. When his fists hit Ding Chunqiu's shoulders, he contracted the poison. At once he exhaled his breath. The air within his body circulated, and he sent out his left fist at Ding Chunqiu. Ding Chunqiu waved his right fist to block the incoming fist. Immediately after, he violently struck out with his left fist. After contracting the poison, Xuan'an could not turn his body effectively. It was difficult for him to dodge the attack. He could only stick out his right fist to counter the force. In this situation, they were competing their inner strength. Xuan'an was secretly alarmed. I cannot compete internal energy with him. But if he does not exert any internal energy, his opponent's energy would come crashing in, and his internal organ would immediately shatter. He knew he had fallen into a trap. But there was no other choice, and he channeled his internal energy to resist. As he channeled the internal energy, he felt his energy scatter and disappear into thin air. He could not gather energy. As he heard the explanation from Xue Muhua before, he knew his meridian was poisoned. Ding Chunqiu laughed out loudly. He shrugged his shoulders. There was a slapping sound, and Xuan'an collapsed onto the ground. After beating Xuan'an, Ding Chunqiu surveyed his surroundings. Gong Yugang and Fan Bailing had collapsed, and they kept shivering. They were beaten by You Tanzhi's frost poison palm. Deng Baichuan, Xue Muhua, and the rest were still fighting fiercely with his disciples. From his Xingxiu sect, he had around 7 disciples, either dead or injured. Ding Chunqiu gave a long laugh. His big sleeves fluttered in the air, and he pounced towards the back of Deng Baichuan and sent out 1 palm at him. He turned around and gave a kick. Babu Tong collapsed from the kick. Deng Baichuan sent out his palm to meet his opponent's palm. Immediately, he felt his chest empty. As he was about to inhale and concentrate, Ding Chunqiu sent out another palm at him. Ding Chunqiu could only grudgingly send out. Deng Baichuan could only grudgingly send out another palm to meet him. He felt a slight cooling sensation. His entire body felt soft and devoid of strength. He was in a daze, and all he saw was white fog. A Xingxiu disciple came over and bumped Deng Baichuan with his arm. Deng Baichuan collapsed onto the ground. Well, they're not doing so well. In a short period of time, all the subordinates of the Murong family, Xuan'an and the rest of the Shaolin monks, Kang Guangling and the rest of the 8 friends of Hanggu, all of them were defeated by Ding Chunqiu and You Tanzhi. You Tanzhi had extremely deep and profound energy, but his martial arts was mediocre and weak. Under a few days of guidance under Ding Chunqiu, he learned 7 to 8 palm moves. Oh, now You Tanzhi knows some martial arts. Oh. I think he's going to be pretty powerful. Although his martial arts was still weak compared to common fighters, along with the frost poison accumulated in his body, his power was formidable and extraordinary. When Gong Yugan attacked You Tanzhi with his palm, he hit him on the first strike, but he got counterattacked by the frost poison and ended up injured. The only person who did not sustain any injury was Xue Muhua. He attacked numerous times, but the Xingqiu disciples only sniggered and ran away from him. They did not fight back at all. Ding Chunqiu smiled and said, "Nephew Xue, your martial arts are much higher than your fellow apprentices. Amazing." Xue Muhua saw his fellow martial brothers collapsing one by one. Only he was left unscathed. Obviously, Ding Chunqiu was being lenient and let him off. He gave a long sigh and said, "Old traitor Ding, the external injuries of that fat monk was easy to treat, but his internal injuries is difficult. He can't live for more than a few days. You want to force me to cure him? Dream on." Ding Chunqiu waved his hands and beckoned him. "Nephew Xue, come over here." Xue Muhua said, "Kill me if you want. I won't listen to what you say." Li Kuei shouted, "Fifth brother Xue's devotion to righteousness inspires reverence. You are Shu Wu, exiled for 19 years and remaining loyal to the Han." Ding Chunqiu gave a slight smile. He stood 3 steps away from Xue Muhua, lightly resting his left palm on his shoulder. He smiled and asked, "Nephew Xue, how long have you been learning martial arts?" Xue Muhua said, 45 years. Ding Chunqiu said, "Practicing day and night for 45 years. It's really not easy. I heard you provide medical treatment in exchange for martial arts. You must have learned numerous exquisite moves from various schools and sects, correct?" Xue Muhua said, "I learned all these moves to kill you, but no matter how exquisite it is, it's completely useless against your sorcery. Alas." He shook his head and gave a deep sigh. Ding Chunqiu said, "Not necessary. Internal energy is the root. Martial arts moves is the branch and leaf. If the root is solid and strong, the branch and leaf will naturally flourish." "It doesn't mean martial moves are useless. If you join my sect, I can impart to you matchless internal energy cultivation method. Afterwards, it would be easy for you to dominate the central plains." Xue Muhua was furious. "I have my own master, and you ask Xue Muhua to join your sect? I would rather bang my head and die." Ding Chunqiu smiled and said, "You need energy and strength to bang your head till death. If you lose all your energy, you will have difficulty walking. Why the need to talk about banging your head? 45 years of hard work. What a pity, what a pity." Sweat streamed down endlessly from his forehead when he heard this. Xue Muhua felt the hand on his shoulder gradually warm up. Ding Chunqiu only needed to will it, and his great energy dissolving skill would come forth. 45 years of hard work would immediately vanish and disappear without a trace. He clenched his teeth and said, You are heartless enough to kill your own master, martial brother, and now the 8 of us. Do you even care? It's a pity if I lose 45 years of hard work, but I will die anyways. Why do I care about hard work or not?" Bao Butong cheered. "Well said! You have the moral backbone and integrity. Does the Xingqiu sect have such a hero?" Ding Chunqiu said, "Nephew Xue, I won't kill you now, but I will ask you 8 times. Will you treat that fat monk? If you reply that you won't treat, I will kill your senior elder brother, Kang Guangling. The second time you reply that you won't treat, I will kill your second brother, Fan Bailing. Your martial sister, the one that knows how to cultivate flowers, where's she hiding? I will eventually find her. The 6th time you reply that you won't treat, I will kill that pretty martial sister of yours. The 7th time, I will kill your 8th brother Li Kuei-lei. If I ask the 8th time, and you still refuse to treat, make a guess. Who will I kill? Xue Muhua heard him narrate his ruthless method. He turned pale and trembled. At that time, you will kill me. No big deal. All 8 of us will just die together. Ding Chunqiu smiled and said, There is no hurry to kill you. The 8th time, you will reply that you won't treat. I will go kill Mr. Intelligent, Xu Xinghe. Xue Muhua shouted loudly, Old traitor Ding! You dare touch a single hair on my master! Ding Chunqiu smiled and said, Why not? The divine elder of Xingxiu always operates alone. The words I said today, I might forget them tomorrow. Although I had an agreement with Xu Xinghe, as long as he remained mute, I wouldn't kill him. But you dared offend me and make me angry. The mistakes made by a disciple would naturally be borne by the master. I like to kill him. Who can stop me? Xue Muhua's mind was in a mess. He knew this old traitor was coercing him to treat Hui Jing. His purpose must be very sinister. If he agreed to treat, he would be aiding a tyrant. But if he refused to treat, the lives of his fellow martial brothers and sisters would be lost. Even their master, Mr. Intelligent, would die for sure. He muttered to himself for a long time and finally said, Fine, I will yield. But after treating that fat punk, you must not trouble all my friends, martial brothers and sister, and my master. Ding Chunqiu was overjoyed. He quickly said, Sure, I promise to spare their dog lives. Deng Baichuan said, The honorable gentleman fell into the evil scheme of a treacherous villain. He deserves to die. Who needs to show you mercy? Who needs you to show mercy? Originally, his voice was strong and bright, but his internal energy had dissipated. Although he was indignant, his voice inevitably became breathless and devoid of strength. Bao Butong shouted, Xue Muhua, don't fall into this trap. This swindler admits it himself. His words cannot be trusted. Xue Muhua said, Correct. You said it before. The words I say today, I might forget them tomorrow. Ding Chunqiu said, Nephew Xue, my first question is, will you treat that fat monk? As he finished, he extended his right leg and targeted the temple of Kang Guangling. Obviously, if Xue Muhua replied, won't treat, he would immediately strike out and kill Kang Guangling. Everyone felt their heart thumping around madly. Suddenly, someone shouted, Won't treat! The one that shouted won't treat was not Xue Muhua, but Kang Guangling. Ding Chunqiu sneered. You want me to kick out and end your life? Not so easy. He turned towards Xue Muhua and asked, Do you want to act as my proxy and kill your own senior martial brother? Xue Muhua sighed and said, Forget it. I promise to treat that fat monk. Kang Guangling cursed. Fifth brother Xue, how can you be so useless? This old traitor Ding is the enemy of our sect. How can you be so cowardly and afraid of death? You actually yield to his threats? Xue Muhua said, It's no big deal if he kills the 8 of us, but didn't you listen? This old traitor wants to trouble our master. When they thought about the safety of their master, Kang Guangling and the rest became speechless. Bao Butong said, Cow! He wanted to say coward, but before he could finish, Deng Baichuan extended his hand and covered his mouth. Bao Butong revered his elder brother. He yielded to him 50% of the time. Thus he endured his anger and swallowed his words. Xue Muhua said, The one surnamed Ding, since I yield to you and agree to treat that monk, you have to be polite to my friends here. Ding Chunqiu said, I will comply with everything you say. Am I interested in doing a video of Vietnamese folk religion? Maybe someday. Someday. Not now, though. A doctor doesn't have to treat his patients effectively. True. But I'm sure if he failed to treat that guy, he would get killed anyways. Probably. Immediately, Ding Chunqiu ordered his disciples to carry Hui Jing over. Xue Muhua asked Hui Jing, "You interacted with an extremely powerful poison object for a long period of time. Thus, the frost poison penetrated deep into your inner organs. What is that poison object?" Hui Jing said, "It's the frost silkworm from Kunlun Mountains." Xue Muhua shook his head and did not probe further. He carried out acupuncture and moxibustion. He also took out 2 crimson pills and fed it to him. Afterwards, he treated the rest of the people, mended their bones, and treated their injuries. This went on until dawn, and finally, everyone got treated. The injured lay on beds or wooden door boards. The family members of Xue Muhua came out and made noodles for everyone to eat. Ding Chunqiu ate 2 bowls of noodles. He smiled at Xue Muhua and said, "You really adapt well to circumstances. You didn't poison the noodles." Xue Muhua said, "Speaking of poison, there's no one better than you. Although I have the intention, but I dare not display my lowly skills in front of an expert." Ding Chunqiu laughed out loudly and said, "Ask your family members to go out and hire 10 donkey carriages." Xue Muhua said, "You need 10 donkey carriages for what?" Ding Chunqiu rolled his eyes and said coldly, "I need to inform you of my own business. Divine Physician Xue must be quite popular with the residents here. It won't be difficult to hire 10 donkey carriages." Xue Muhua was helpless and could only order his family members to go out and hire the carriages. It was afternoon when the 10 donkey carriages arrived. Ding Chunqiu said, "Kill all the carriage drivers." Xue Muhua was shocked and said, "What?" But he saw the palms of the disciples of the Xingxiu sect flying around, a few slapping sounds, and the 10 dead bodies of the drivers lay on the ground. Well, that wasn't nice. Xue Muhua was furious. "Oh, traitor Ding, how did the drivers offend you? You go so far as to kill them?" Ding Chunqiu said, "My Xingxiu sect wants to kill a few people. Why the need to discuss about right or wrong, reason or justification? All of you enter the carriages now. No one stays behind. Nephew Xue, if you have any medical books or drugs, bring them along with you. I am going to burn down your house." Xue Muhua had another huge shock. But this person commits all sorts of evil misdeeds imaginable. It was a waste of time to debate with him. He had thoroughly memorized all the medical books, but all those pills, ointments, and pellets that he painstakingly concocted, he cursed endlessly and started gathering the medical herbs and drugs. He had yet to finish packing when the Xingxiu disciples set fire at the back of the house. The Shaolin monk Huifeng originally received orders from Xuan'an. He had to escape and deliver news to the Shaolin temple. But Ding Chunqiu was strict and kept a tight surveillance. He did not escape far and eventually got captured back. Xuan'an and 6 monks from Shaolin, the 4 subordinates from the Gusu Murong family, 8 friends of Hangu except for Xue Muhua, all of them were injured. Some had their internal energy sealed or injured by Ding Chunqiu's palm, some got hit by You Tanzhi's frost poison, and the rest got hit by deadly poison from the Xingxiu disciples. They were all unable to move a single step. In addition, the family members of Xue Muhua were brought along as well and packed into the 10 carriages. Some of the Xingxiu disciples became carriage drivers, some escorted the carriages. The curtains in the carriage were pulled down and tied with ropes. There was no light at all in the carriages, and they could not see the outside view. Xuanan and the rest had the same question. This old traitor, where is he bringing us to? They knew that if they started inquiring, they would get insulted and humiliated by the Xingxiu disciples. They definitely wouldn't get any answers. They thought in their hearts, we can only be patient for now. We will know when the time comes. And we're done. There you go. That was a long ass chapter. Okay. How did you guys like the chapter? I felt like half the chapter was just them, just Shui Muhua describing his brothers and sister. Okay, the story is moving along. Okay. So now they are captured by Ding Chunqiu. And he's about to, well, he wants to kill, he wants to force Shui Muhua to cure this monk. So let's see next week what happens. All right. I'm gonna take a swig. Thanks, Peepzilla. Very generous of you. Still odd that they keep leaving our main heroes. Oh yeah, true. Are they? Are they? All right. Cheers. Oh. Well, I think I remember a little bit of what happens next, because I read this a long ass time ago. I read it in Vietnamese actually. I read it a long ass time ago, and it leads to something. Okay, so it's not just filler. It leads to some stuff that happens. You're not sure they know who the main heroes are anymore? Uh-huh. Yeah, the story was serialized in a newspaper. True. What am I drinking? Alright, do you know how to pronounce this? Gunlak. Bunshu. Yes. It's some white wine. We have circled back to the Murong family. Wait, have we met Murong Fu before? I forgot. The master of the Murong family? The young master? Did we meet him, or we have not met him yet? The lak should sound like a lugi. Oh. So it's Gunlak. Gunlak. Gunlak Bunshu. Yes. Hopefully none of you guys are German. Okay, so we just met his disciples. Yeah, we never met Murong Fu. Okay. It's gonna be interesting when we meet him too. What is he like? Alright guys. So look like the current enemy, the current big enemy is this Ding Chunqiu guy. Okay. He's very powerful with poison. And he can block your internal energy. Alright guys. Thanks for joining. Alright. I love you. I'll see you next time. And if you remind me next time, I'll show you some dance pictures and videos. Alright. Bye. See you next time.